Hi, good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Is it good morning? Is it good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are connecting from? You're welcome. So, this evening, I just want to talk a little bit of some of the key things you may not have considered when you want to set up a Wi-Fi hotspot service, maybe for a school hostel, maybe a community, or for a very busy market area. Most times you've been watching some of my videos. I've talked about equipment you need. Like, for instance, I've talked about your AP, your wireless AP to help distribute your network. I've mentioned that Huawei is very good because I've tested them and it's very efficient. Then I think what else have I mentioned? I've mentioned that you need Starlinks, and I've also talked about how to do some modifications on your Starlink. But I think today I would like to talk a little about the brain of your system. A brain simply means the system that manages users when they connect to your network, and of course, that manages payments or vouchers. Yeah, but but two things I would like to now add. If you do not intend to collect payment directly to your bank account using the payment gateway API, then this video you you may not need it. If you're using Huawei, like the Huawei AP70 that has an inbuilt voucher system, then that video I made on using the Huawei inbuilt voucher system is perfect. So just watch that and you're okay. But if you need something higher, maybe you don't want to be printing vouchers. Some people's data could finish at the middle of the night. They are busy and they can't call you, they can't reach out to you at that time to get vouchers, or you don't want the disturbance. You want them to simply go to your web page. Since they can see your network, they can just go to the portal page and buy. And once they buy, the money goes straight into your account. And that is very good for obvious reasons, because sometimes you want clear transparency and accountability of your business or your network. Yes, you don't want stories, oh, I sold 10 vouchers, but it was actually two, or I sold 10, but it was actually 50. You want to avoid all those issues. It's good you put or integrate a payment gateway. Now, most services do not have an inbuilt payment gateway, except the good news is you can build your own. Yes, you can build your own voucher system or your own billing system that you can integrate your own payment gateway. And the honest truth is there are some open source projects that for Wi-Fi billing software, but you have to modify them, you have to edit them, to suit your needs. It's not just pick and use. You have to pick it, cook it up a bit. And I have, after many months and days and nights of testing and proofreading, I was able to construct one. And I'm going to share it with you. And if you are in this stage in your life or in your business or deployment where you have your equipment, you just need the software, then good news to you, because you could always reach out to me as well. And you can reach out through the WhatsApp link on this comment or somewhere in the page, and you can ask for it, and I could help you do the configuration. And it's going to be free. You don't need to be paying subscription fees. Maybe for some softwares, you have to pay like $200, and you have to be paying every month for it, maybe from $50 and above or thereabout. Also, I will tell you whatever you make, they will charge from that. But I don't do that. No, it's uncomfortable to share your profits with anybody you don't know. But however, it's not going to be completely free because of the time and effort and everything. So, the only requirement I do give people is just two. First is you need to get your own mini PC, so that you don't have to spend money to host it in the cloud. So get your own mini PC, then I'll help you install that. Of course, the mini PC should be running an Ubuntu server on it. But if all that sounds too technical, don't worry. Just let me know. I can get the PC for you, install the Ubuntu server, install the software, ensure it's working, and then ship it up to you. But you may want to see what kind of software are you talking about? Can we have a look? Oh, yes. And that's what I want to do today, just to take you like a little tour of how this software works. Then we can learn from that. So let me just open my browser now. Okay, I think the page is already on, but I'll open it afresh. So it's already here on my dashboard. So I'll just open it. And if you could see, it already even has the name of my business name or company name is there, Grateful Coast Wi-Fi. That's the name of the channel, of course, Grateful Coast. So this is how the software will look once you install it. Yes, first of all, of course, as you know, I'm based in Nigeria, so you could put your own currency. You could see how much you've earned. Of course, I'll be using it for tests much much of the time. So that's what you notice. So first of all, you see all the different options you get. These are extremely powerful. In fact, these are what you get if you are using any of the paid services. It even has more features than some of the paid services you have. And it has less issues because now you're hosting it yourself. You don't rely on other people to manage your data. Everything is there. Everything is working for you. So first thing first, most of the things here too are automated in that you don't really need to do anything manually apart from doing the setup, putting the currency, the business name, and maybe some preset messages you want your customers or users to see when they connect to the network. Now, like for instance, the user section is done automatically. So once they connect, they can register. So you don't need to come here and manually register them. But if you wish to, you have the option to manually register them. Then there's another tab here, the services tab. Here you can see active customers, those who have subscribed, and what kind of service they are subscribed to, and what type of plan have they. You can easily refill a customer instantly. Maybe they call you or send a message, oh, my data is about to run out. Can you please add some for me? You can easily recharge them automatically without them going offline. Then here is the main thing. Here are the vouchers. You could see the current vouchers that have been used and the code and when and who sold it. You can see who generated this code and which user is using it. Take note, this is for a test, but it's working perfectly well. Then you can also see those users you've recharged accounts. You can recharge PPOE plans, hotspot plan, but hotspot plan is the most common. You can also see all your routers too. Then you can see all the plans as well. Then you can also see the balance of the customer. So this is just for that. But of course, this service, you may not use it much. Now, another interesting thing here is the internet plans. You have the freedom to select the plans you need. Like these are some of the plans. Of course, it doesn't mean that you have the same, but it's so flexible. Like for instance, I have daily plans. So you could even see here the duration, validity is days. Then I have weekly plans here. I could see here the validity is in 7 days. Okay, there's even an error here. So you could see this 7 minutes. I can even edit it and say, no, 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 that should not be 7 minutes. It should be 7 days. And yeah, and I save. Excellent, you just update. So the system is so responsive, absolutely responsive, and it's hosted in my local server, so nobody has access to it. Good. Then you can also do the monthly plan. You can see this is 1 month plan. And of course, you can see the prices in naira. You can also edit the price. You can come up tomorrow and say, no, I don't want this price. I want to change it. And just like you notice, and of course, unlimited. I have unlimited plans as well. So you have to break your plans into different shapes and sizes to fit everybody. So you can't force everybody to be on unlimited. You can't force everybody to be on monthly, on a weekly plan. So you should break it into different sizes. So whoever comes is comfortable. A student who just wants to do a quick project and download a few things may want just a daily unlimited. And there should be that provision. Somebody may say, I don't have much money. I just want to check up on my WhatsApp and all that. I just have as little as 2 cents or 1 cent. Yes, there should be a plan to fit that person. And there could be some persons who say, no, I have a large family and I want everybody to enjoy. You could give them the maximum family plans and all that. And you may also do some, like if you notice this too, this is a welcome test for 10 minutes that I created as well. So, and if you can also indicate the data plan you wish to, that's how it works. And of course, another thing, let me just open this so I give you a complete tour. Good. So now you could have radios, you could have it on your local machine, whatever it is. Of course, when you are ready, I could always help you. Now, something interesting I like here is you can actually give people not necessarily the illusion, but the fact that the prices of the item is discounted. You could say, okay, the packet price is maybe 30,000. This is in naira though, not dollars, so you don't scream. But you could actually tell them that the price before discount is 57,000 because that's what we pay for Starlink here if you want Starlink service in a month. So you could tell them, yes, you could be paying 57,000, but on this my network you're getting for 30,000, and that's a bargain. Sure. And here you have shared users. You can say how many persons can use this particular voucher. Maybe a family of five could say we need five people. Of course, others could negotiate for some custom agreement. Maybe it's 10 persons, then fine. One voucher can 10 persons can use it simultaneously. Yes, but the validity can remain the same. So that is just about that. So let me just go back. So that is for plan. So this is very important. And if you click this synchronize, it synchronizes with your Microtik, or if you are using a radio server, it synchronizes with your radio server. So whatever. You can also create plans for PPOE. You could create plans for VPN. You could, if you just want it to be by bandwidth, maybe people should buy bandwidth. And now, talking of bandwidth, oh, it's unfortunate this video might be a bit long, but I'll try to just be very brief. Now, talking of bandwidth, you can actually have different bandwidths. You can have a 10 Mbps bandwidth. You could have a 2 Mbps. This is I notice this is general performance. So generally, you shouldn't give most people more than 2 Mbps because 2 Mbps can actually work for most persons, especially here in Africa. You understand? Here or in some areas, it can actually browse the internet. You can actually stream with 2 Mbps. You could use social media for 2 Mbps. So if you give everybody all your without limits, two people can bring down all your network or can use up all the resources. So, but if you break it down into much smaller chunks, you are able to serve more people and make more money because let's face the facts. You want many people to be on your network and you actually want to make more money. That's the truth. So 2 Mbps is the golden rule. 5 Mbps, perfect. 10 Mbps is an overkill. You can only just do that for. I use that for mainly people that want to test the network, and this is another secret I'm sharing with you. So people want to test the network, they want to see how fast it is. So you give them, that unlimited large bandwidth, and they test it for a few minutes, and that won't hurt your network because it's just for a test. But once they subscribe, yeah, you tell them now, welcome on board. Now you can ride good and slow and steady. They also have the low priority plans too for 1 Mbps, which is still not too bad. And of course, and once the network is congested, but yet I still need people there, I can still use 500 kbps. Yeah, this is small, but yeah, it works. Even Starlink has a plan for 500 kbps. Yes, so I mean, then of course we have the critical congestion limit where so many people on your network, everybody is complaining. You have low bandwidth. You can just change them. Everybody come down to 250 kbps. Like in my country, that's the least you can go as a service provider. But the honest truth is that some of the big service providers, you know, they sometimes give us less than this and we survive. Of course, because there could be outages and the rest. So, but if it's too critical and you don't want your entire network to go down, just come down here. You can send them a small message. Sorry, we're experiencing congestion. Just be nice and kind. But that will be very critical. Don't use it. Don't use it as anytime you want, please. But you could use congestion. This one is fair enough for basic browsing and keeping up with social media. Of course, not like with video related social media. Yes, but low priority works quite good. Fair enough. General performance is good and high priority. But of course, if your subscription is maybe you're subscribing 500 Mbps from your ISP and you want to give out 500 Mbps to everybody, good, fine and good. I rejoice with you. Yeah, but if people start complaining about your network, understand that it's because you did not add limits. You did not add a bandwidth limit for people. Yeah, so to be realistic, you can use 5, you can use 2, and their system automatically adjusts. That's something you should know. Most devices today, even social media sites, they automatically adjust to the speed that they can see. So it's no harm at all. All right, so you can check on any customer's balance here. Here are maps. You can see the actual location where your customers are. You could also see the customer location of where your AP or your device is. It's actually very accurate because you have to select it. Mm. Though you are saying UK here because I've not configured, I've not configured it. I'm not currently in the UK. It's because there are different services here. So this one I haven't configured anything. So now reports, you could see your daily reports. In fact, how much was made every day, and this is what so many business owners would like to see. You could actually see activity history, how much has been gotten and through what means. Yes, then you can actually send messages to your customers. And take note, you can actually include your own SMS gateway as well. There are so many, you can send it through WhatsApp and SMS. Oh, I love this software. It's very, very efficient. You can actually do bulk messages to people in a particular region. Like for instance, when I did mention that sometimes there may be congestion, you can also send everybody a message. Sorry, we are experiencing congestion, so internet speed will be limited for a while, but we are constantly monitoring the situation. You understand? Then you are being professional, and they will love you for that. But of course, you can actually do this from the comfort of your home. You can actually also manage it from anywhere in the world, because once I install this software, I would actually make it possible for you to remote into it. Like this dashboard you can see now, you can actually from anywhere you can see it and you can still manage it. Mhm. Then depending on where you want your server to be hosted, usually I prefer it's hosted locally. You can host it yourself. Just ensure that where you are hosting it, there is constant power or electricity, and that it always have internet. So those two things are important. And again, something to add to with this software is that you can actually add multiple devices to it. Yes, yeah, you can actually add multiple routers. Maybe you have 10, 15 locations. All of them can still be pointing to this same server and to this same billing system to manage all. And people can roam easily. They can go from site A to site B, and their vouchers will still work. Why? It's because the same software, the same billing system is managing them and keeping all the data together. So it's very fine and very secure as well. Then, of course, you could actually do some other assets. You can add other things if you wish to, just to see how your business is working at a glance. And here, the interesting part, the routers, where to add your routers. You could add your router. Yeah, here you can see my router. You can see the username. You can see whether it's online. You can see when it was last seen. Everything. You can even create your IP pool from here. So everything can be done all from this point. Mhm. Now, the next thing, you can do port, you can do ODP lists. And another interesting point, you can even set up radios as well. You can set your radios NAS. You can see how many users are online. For instance, if you're using radios instantly. Yes, so static pages, these are where you can put some definite small welcome messages. You can edit them. So once people connect, they see that. Here you can come to settings. You can customize. Oh my God, this is highly customizable. And even you see here where you can even set your payment gateway. Like now I have Flutterwave already set up. You can set up as many gateways as you want. In a little while, I'll show you all the other different gateways you can actually set up. Yes, so that is what you can do, some localization. And like you see, I'm using Nigerian time, but you can change it to any time. This is where you can change the symbol to correspond with the symbol, the country code. So that's how it is. All right. So what else? There are many things. I don't know if I'll leave the time, but yes, I'm showing you something that will help you. So as you see, this is imagine that it's you, it's your network. You just imagine that you finally have now your own billing system that works. Yeah. So you can get router check, you can get OTP set up so that people connect. Highly customizable. In fact, I've not even used all the whole I haven't even used all the whole different setups. You can set up the widgets, but most of these things are by default. But of course, if I help you configure it, I can also help you with some of the basic messages you want. You understand? I can actually help you with some of them. Then administrators. Then of course, another thing to know is that you can create an account for many category of persons. For instance, now this is an admin block. You could choose to have one or two admins. Then what if you have workers, but you don't want them to have advanced setup? You can create an account, you know, for different type of user. For instance, you just want a report viewer, somebody to just be viewing, like maybe your sales, maybe somebody in your management team. Maybe you have a sponsor or a business partner and he wants to be seeing the performance. You can create an account and give him this. Maybe the person is not technically savvy, but he wants to be seeing numbers. So you give him this, he can see it. If you want an agent, maybe somebody wants to be buying in bulk and maybe selling in bulk as well. Sure, you can create an account for them. They can come, they can buy, they can even manage users' issues and all that. Then sales, you can, if you have your staff, you want them to be generating vouchers for you, not only you generating. Fine. Then of course you have administrator, somebody too that can do one or two things. That you have the super admin. So super admin should not be given to just anybody. So you see, the system is just all inclusive. It's the most detailed system you can get. And I make bold to tell you there is no billing system you could bring that beats this. Highest, you just see how can we integrate this feature that this billing system has. Can you put this? And sure, we can. You can back up your system at any time. So in case there's any outage, you can bring it back up. Yes. Then what else can you do there? These are some payment gateways as well, as we did mention earlier. Like for those my people in Nigeria, for instance, you can easily get Flutterwave, you can get Paystack out of the box. You don't even need to pay for it. And then you can clear cache, payment page settings, you can actually set it. If you don't want people to be paying, so you can even hide it. But I know some of you don't need it. Some might. So, and now what if you need extra features, as I did say, that is not out of the box? Of course, out of the box, you already have some payment gateways, you already have your routers, you already have your pricing, which is what you really need as a someone who wants to do business, essentially. So that is how it is. But what if you need more? You can just get maybe there's a GitHub link, you can just get that. Then you select some of the additional features you need, and voila, you get them instantly. Yes, and some other features too, you can just maybe mail me or even mail the producers of this. Of course, as I said, this one is open source, but you can actually still reach out to them if it's something I can fix and they can add it. It's highly, highly customizable. Then of course you can actually also view your logs as well. Very good. So now, like for instance, this is a plugin manager. You could see that even from this plugin, in case there are some things that you noticed, but you need them, then you can just come here and install some of the plugins. And some of the plugins, though, you may need to buy them. Some of them are just free. So maybe you need a WhatsApp gateway for free. You don't need to go and pay for WhatsApp gateway. Nah, you don't need to do that. To add the customer plus recharge, maybe FTTX, maybe you want to integrate fiber, which is what we also saw earlier. You want to be monitoring all your devices. You want to be able to import details. You can do that here. Then internet speed. You want to be viewing your internet speed at the globe. And let me just test this. If I also say internet speed, for instance, and I say, I install, you know, of course, you don't need to install everything you see. So the mere fact that you see that, oh, there are additional features I can add, doesn't mean you should go and start adding just everything. No, just think, what do I really need? Is there anything I need? Good. And sometimes too, some of them might give you some errors like this, but it's fine. You may check whether it's a paid version or not, because sometimes you see buy, that means you have to actually try and pay for it to integrate it. But basically, out of the box, everything you need is included. Now, look at some other interesting things I would like to show you. You see here about try pay. Maybe you want to integrate this payment gateway. You're not just okay with a Paystack and Flutterwave that come out of the box. Fine, you can come there. Radius client tester, you can still do this. Okay, so let me try this Radius client tester. Let me see whether this one install now. But if it doesn't, okay, I will try that much later. Then what else? Let's go and see. The network is a bit slow this evening. So now some other things I would like to also show you is this part here. Okay, so I think there's a little network issues here. Yeah, but I'll resolve this much later. Now, the other thing I would like to also show you is this aspect here of, for instance, if you are maybe in Asia and you need very more SMS gateway, it's here. Now, this other part here, let's see, good. Africa's talking SMS. Of course, this one you have to buy it. Now, where is this other payment? Yes, M-Pesa. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. For most of the friends in Africa, you may want this M-Pesa payment gateway as well. Yes. Then Paystack Hotspot gateway pay. Okay, you can also get this one. Though it's paid as well. Then M-Pesa SA key push hotspot system gateway pay. Excellent. Then advanced radios, MySQL data usage. So there are so much more you could actually put. Then support ticket system. You know, if you want people to create a ticket and maybe raise an issue, you can actually come here and get that sorted out. Very good. So now the next thing is logs. My system is a bit slow this evening. And as I did say, now when you talk of a server, you know, most people would think you have to go and buy a very big, you know, device, look for a big warehouse, cool it. No, you can just get a small mini PC and set up your server on it. And that's the beauty with Ubuntu. So just get maybe at least a 16 gig RAM system, 500 gigabyte memory, or 250 gig memory. That's what we need. Then we'll set up everything and send to you. Yes, so this is the radio's logs as well. And you can set how often you want it to go. Then these are messages. Yes, then of course there are documentations and all that. So this is just a brief tour of the billing software. And of course, this is based on the PHP knocked bill logs. So if you want to go and do it yourself, voila, it's a free world. You can go there, but if you spend months and days and weeks, and sometimes you may not get it right. So sometimes it may be good. You just reach out and we'll help you at a very, very good fee. You know, as I did say, you some softwares you pay up to $500, 100, $1,000 and quote some up to $10,000. I've seen one. You can go and research it. It's actually $10,000. The name is oh, Antamedia. Yes, Antamedia. Go and Google it. It's $10,000 for their software. But this, what I do charge, though it's not too much. At least you should be sure of paid about $300, $400 for everything. Yes, then of course you get your PC. We can get the PC here. We'll include the cost for you, and you pay half before we start and half after we're done. But everything is very transparent. You can go to on the message pan of this video. You could see the link to our WhatsApp group chat. You can go there and ask more questions, and to be sure that everything you're getting is fine. So I think that is all about that. We'll stop here for now. I've actually took a lot of time, but it's good. And of course, there are cron jobs here. Sorry, and when you talk of cron jobs, these are like messages that pops up to the person before their vouchers expire. You know, some people don't like it that, oh, they are in the middle of something and instantly, voila, their network disconnects. No, but this system comes inbuilt with cron jobs where they get alert every 7 days before their data expires. Then they get an alert a day before and 3 days before. Very, very brilliant system. Yes, so that is about that. So if you have any question, if you have any comment, feel free to drop it at the comment section of this video, or you could send me a direct message. The link to a contact is included in the description of this video, and of course you can just join the WhatsApp group and ask all your questions. So thank you and see you in the next one. Bye bye.